everyone, Nicole Schumann from PRNEWS here, and I'm speaking with Kat Forgione. She's the Director of CES Communications, and we're going to learn a little bit today about what goes on behind the scenes and her role. Kat, how long have you been with CES, and what does your role entail?
Yeah, so I joined the Consumer Technology Association, which owns and produces CES over the summer, so I'm about 6 months in, but I am no stranger to CES. I actually started my career working for an agency named Allison, and I worked with different clients like GE Appliances, Samsung, and Razer to help them make a splash at CES, so not a stranger to the show and really excited to be here in this capacity.
Great, it's such a huge trade show, one of the biggest. There's going to be about, I think I heard about 130,000 people here, probably more.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, what does a typical day look like for you in handling all these comms duties?
Yeah, well, every day looks different, and that's one of my favorite parts about being in communications. So before the show floor opens, there are 2 days beforehand, usually the Sunday and the Monday, that are dedicated media days. And that kicks off on Sunday with a tech trends presentation that goes into everything we expect to see in 2025 and beyond. And this is open to media. It kind of helps them get an idea of what to expect at the show and what the trends might be. And then we go directly into Unveiled, which there was over 200 exhibitors there this year. And it's a great place to see tabletops, new products, and showcase the innovations before the show floor even opens. And that's just open to media. So we are making sure that exhibitors are able to give hands-on time with their products. And then we're also with executives, staffing them for interviews and kind of setting the tone for what the show is going to look like. And then the next day, Monday, is also another media day, and that's focused on press conferences from a lot of great companies. This year we had John Deere, AMD, Samsung, LG, so really exciting stuff on those days. And that typically looks like for us helping media out. So it looks like making sure that they know where they're headed, that they have all the assets they need for their stories, and really talking to them about what they're seeing and also how we can help of building out what their schedule for the rest of the week will look like. So
yeah, and we really enjoyed the media days because you're able to separate yourself from all of the attendees that come in terms of vendors and people that are looking at the tech, to be able to really get a first row view of what these companies are doing, and it makes for a really good connection with the media. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, that's great. And that just kicks us off. And then we go into the show floor being open. So we are across so many venues here in Las Vegas. And each different area kind of has their different topic of interest, right? So right now we're in C space, and this is the dedicated area for CMOs. It is where we're talking about content and entertainment. There are lots of great programming that is at C space at ARIA. And then we do have our traditional things like the show floor, right? So over at the Las Vegas Convention Center, you'll see North Hall is where all of your enterprise like AI, IoT, smart communities are all going to focus there. We'll have West Hall with mobility, and that hall is looking amazing right now. It is filled with construction tech, ad tech, vehicle tech, so you'll see everything from Caterpillar to John Deere to Oshkosh, which is a new exhibitor, and they have some amazing like emergency vehicles and things like that. So some really great content that media might be looking for there. And then we also have Central Hall, and this is where you'll see everything in immersive entertainment. As well as South Hall is actually back online for the first time this year since 2020, and that's where you'll see a lot of accessories as well.
Great.
Yeah.
And there's so many journalists here.
Yeah.
I've seen so many from all over the world, which is really impressive. How do you guys triage? Like, how do you handle all the stuff that's coming in and make sure journalists are taken care of? What is the process there?
Yeah, well, we're lucky to have an amazing staff. So we divide and conquer among all fronts. We are making sure that executives are staffed for interviews. We're making sure that some people are working on the media inbox. And in the media inbox, we'll see everything from needing help to get registered before the show, if credentials aren't going through or something like that. So we're there to assist with those types of questions. We're also answering questions of where people can find things. We're coordinating interviews on site for spokespeople, and then we're also doing other things there's just so much for us to do, yeah.
That's great. You know, and the other part of it, our audience obviously are PR and comms people,
Yeah.
Much like yourself.
Yeah.
So wondering how you guys work in terms of, you know, fielding requests from PR agencies or, you know, working with communications reps, because there are a lot of them here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have an amazing exhibitor PR program. So for those that are exhibiting companies, they do have access to our media list, and they are able to reach out and coordinate any type of interview, hands-on time, visits to the booth, invites to different events. So we definitely use that as a starting point of where exhibitors can start to make sure they're making those connections with media. Then in addition, we have some other opportunities where companies can submit products, and we'll take a look at them. If they fit the bill, we will include them in some of the broadcast segments that the communications team is doing. So our communications team does a lot of local radio and TV broadcast interviews from the show floor every morning during the show for all across the nation. So it's amazing to be out on the show floor talking about these products and being able to kind of raise awareness for CES just all across the nation. So we encourage people to check out our website, ces.tech, for some of those exhibitor opportunities. We're always willing to help.
Another question, are there, you know, this is a space for trends and new things and new technology. Are there any communications trends you've seen emerging this year from the different exhibitors or their PR people?
Yeah, I would say people are really excited about getting media hands-on time with things, and I think that is what makes CES so special, is the ability to be in person and connect. And you really, sometimes to understand technology, you have to be with the product. So I think that that's something that we're seeing a lot from PR folks, is just asking, how can we make sure that media are coming to our events and are getting that hands-on time? And I think reaching out early is especially especially important. You know, media schedules fill up so fast. I'm sure you know that. So that is one thing that I would definitely recommend, and just making sure that you're being very clear about what the product is, what it does, short and sweet to the point, but also kind of showing any photos or giving any news under embargo, I think also helps. Media are thrilled to be able to prep their stories beforehand and have that time with any questions that they might have and follow up too.
And last question, just one tip that you would give PR people that are working at CES.
My tip would be, as Nicole said, there are thousands of media here. Reach out to them, try and get some of their time. Also connect with your colleagues as much as possible. There's a great tool through the CES app where you can actually, if people opt in, you can reach out to others that are at the show to try and make a coffee meeting or something like that. So a really great way to just expand your network with media and with your peers, I think, is always just a great opportunity that's here.
And thank you so much for spending time with us. I know your schedule is busy as well. And thank you for watching. We'll have more from CES with PR News.